Hello, thank you for joining me. Behind me, I have a 2013 Jeep Rubicon Wrangler. And in the last video, I talked about, I opened a grumper from Fab 4. It's a super crazy cool winch bumper. We love it. It's probably been 2 weeks or so since I made that video. I'm just now getting around to uploading that video. If you're interested in seeing me open that, if you want to know how that comes in a box, because, I wanted to know how it came in a box, I will leave a link somewhere so you can check that out. Super cool bumper. We did go ahead and do the green rings around the headlights, which I can show you guys. I have the Vicowl from Fab 4. Since the last video, I have done a 3-inch rough country lift kit with the drop bracket control arms. So the Jeep's looking super cool now, looks really good. In this video, I have wanted for a really long time, since I first saw the grumper and the Vicowl, I wanted to run the rigid light bar that goes up there. So I have right here the super crazy cool looking light bar. This model is discontinued, but this was the one I wanted versus the new one that does like 8 different colors. This does light up green. The backlight is green. It does still do the clear LED bar, but then also green. I just like the way the logo decal looks on this one versus the other one. So I was able to find that for like $230 versus like $500, which is what some places still want, even though they're discontinued. This was brand new in the box. Then I also picked up like a $230 bracket. I think it's about $200 for the bracket that goes up on top of that. So just crazy. I mean, realistically, that's like $700 worth of stuff that I paid like $450. So in this video, I'm gonna go ahead and get that part dismounted, throw on the bracket, and then show you guys how I'm wiring the light bar, which it does come with its own special relay wiring because it does have 2 switches, one for the backlight and one for the LED bar. So I'm just gonna bring you guys along. So up close, as you can see down inside of the Vicowl, but up here, there are 10 of these hex head screws with a nut on the back. The hex head size is 3/16, I believe, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove all 10 of those. So now that I have the factory bracket removed, I can go ahead and start trying to mount the light bar, which is a 20-inch light bar, into this bracket, which is very interesting looking. It does have these grooves on the back. Let's see, I think I actually have it backwards. Here we go, my fault. There we go, I believe it mounts like that. So that will be the face of it, and it does have these 2 arm notches or grooves notched out, so I can put those that nut and stud through those and then be able to fasten them down. So I'm going to go ahead and get that part done. Now that I have the bracket with light bar installed, I definitely had some trouble installing this myself. Here's an up close of how the light bar sits. What I was struggling with, which I may not be able to show you, the way that the screw anchors through the bracket, when you're tightening it, it does want to move. And so it will push the light bar in and out. So I was struggling to try to keep the light bar straight. But let's go ahead and hop inside the vehicle and see how it looks from inside. So inside the vehicle, you are going to see, I kind of expected it to be more or less closed in along the bottom. So I am going to see the wires. Well, a little bit different than I expected, but overall it's not horrible. But like I said, you do see, well, I guess there's a black lip on the other side, but overall it's not the worst. Stepping outside the vehicle. So then we have to run the wires down this A-pillar and hopefully be able to make that look decent, since you will probably see it from the inside. So I guess my next thing is to start running this wire. This is the wiring harness relay that it comes with. So it has two switches on it that I'm going to change out. It has the relay on it. It has the 3 wires that go to the light bar, and then the positive and negative. It does have an inline fuse. It comes with a pack of different wattage of fuses that you're supposed to use based on the size of light bar you're using, which this is the diagram of what size fuse for what size light bar, and then what these 3 wires mean on the coming from the light bar, with the white being the backlighting. So there's that instructions on that. The other side just talks a little bit about the light bar. So very cool. Do I think it's going to be long enough? No, probably not. So it will be interesting to see how we determine how to do this. So I'm now to the wiring stage, and I will show you guys under the hood how I'm going about running these wires, but it's pretty simple under the hood. What I wanted to show you, let's see the best way to show you this. There is a hole in that bracket right there that basically that wire fits perfectly in and allows it to run straight up the side of this A-pillar. Something else I'm seeing is there's some holes that actually go all the way through, and down in here there are one here and another one here, that basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie this straight up directly up here, and then I'm going to zip tie it here, and then basically just try to zip tie this corner, and it should hang just far enough behind this bracket that you don't see it. So what I have going right now is I have 3 of these heat shrink heat shrink tubing. There we go. Heat shrink tubing. So I got 3 in here. So once I solder these to those, I will slide these out, and then I have 2. One so I can slide it down this, and then another one to go over the entire unit once I solder these together. I could do connections, but I'm going to solder these together. And then I have wires ran inside of the Jeep, which Jeeps are really cool. I've always had F-150s, and to have a Jeep that just, they know you're going to run wires. Basically, which no way I'm going to be able to show you. Basically, I'm going to have to get another light. But there's a hole through the floorboard going into the engine bay that I was able to fish a line through that and then pull this through. These are the wires that I'm running up to my A-pillar, which I have the rugged ridge, which gives me the options to cut out these things. This whole button is for my wheel lights that I cannot change that plug. So we opted out to put it on the bottom, and then we have a couple plugs that go up here. Oh, now they're flashing. Got to hold it down to turn it off. There we go. So I got those inside the cab. I will deal with those later. Wait for that to go up. There we go. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and solder up these connections and then zip tie these wires together. I'm now inside the vehicle the next day, and I am wiring up the Rugged Ridge pod light 8-pillar switch thing. I just got done wiring it, so I'm going to go ahead and flip you guys around and talk a little bit about how I wired it, and then we can go from there. Okay, so new updated wiring. I initially thought that these wires could be looped off of each other. That is incorrect. They all need to be grounded individually. So I chose to take the ground wire from my light bar, which is grounded to the battery, and I chose to put 3 on this side and 3 on this side and basically just tie each one of those together. I'd go ahead and turn the vehicle on for you guys so you can see. You can see that those turned on green. And now when I push the button, which I have these tied to an accessory wire, that is what this red wire is tied to. I will show you over in the engine bay. In the engine bay, we have that wire that was tied from inside the cab. I used a fuse tap, and I chose to tap off of this 10. It was a 10 underneath of here. I don't know what it went to, but it was one of the only couple in the fuse panel that was tied to the accessory. This other one I have over here, I believe is tied to rear heated seats, which I don't have, but that is my green headlights, so they go off when I turn the vehicle off. Well guys, there is my install of the Rigid Radiance green light bar. I do have it on right now. Let me go ahead and flip the light off. It's super cool looking, especially in person. I think that will focus on the camera. Let me go ahead and not start the vehicle, but get the green headlights to come on as well. I'm inside the vehicle, turning it to the accessory position. Okay, green headlights. There's the green headlights. Just super mean looking. Will be super cool to see that coming down the road. Let me go ahead and turn off the green. So there wasn't much of a difference. Well, that's the wrong one. That's with the light bar on, light bar off. Let's turn the LED on. So this is a dark room. Let me go ahead and turn the car off. Now I was wrong when I said that I wanted to wire in the accessory wire to the switch, thinking that that would be the only way it would get powered. I was wrong. There we go. I was wrong. The switch will still come on with the vehicle off. It just won't light up. See how just the light bar is lighting up, so it's tied to the battery. And then it's the words that won't light up until the vehicle is on, which is good because if I tied it into direct power, it would always be on. So here we have the Jeep without, well, the Jeep with the light bar on, with nothing else in the garage on. All of my lights are off. That is crazy bright. Now, you know, it is reflecting in the garage, but it will be much used out here in the country, basically. But basically, there we have it, guys. Thank you so very much for watching, and we will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.